So we're on the Aire and Calder now. This is the super highway of canals, if you like. It's really wide and it's straight, deep, and the locks are absolutely enormous. And it's done this way for a reason, because it's all the commercial traffic which used to come through here. A lot of it was taking out coal from the South Yorkshire coal seams out to the various power stations and onto the Humber. So yeah, so we're at Goole to start with, and we're looking around Goole docks. And so yeah, in this vlog we'll be travelling westwards from Goole all the way down to Knottingley. These Goole docks are massive docks in off the Humber. Loads of craft come in here, but there's not that many that go along the canal. So they come in just there, and this is the bridge. And over this side is just the other side of Ocean Lock. So this is the side where you go off onto the Aire and Calder. And just to our left here is the old lift for the Tom Puddings. So there'll be more about the Tom Puddings in a later vlog. Up to Goole, and on the way we passed this factory and there was a peacock in the perimeter fence, which seemed a bit unusual. And we also saw our friends Neil and Jane to North Star Marina Club, where we're going to meet them for a drink. See you in a bit. Yeah. No. Walk up. No, yeah, walk, yeah. And we met their friends, Jude and John, there as well. Had a great afternoon drinking and chatting. Lovely boaters, really interesting people. And we also met this guy Martin. Now he was a solo North Sea trawlerman for 40 years, and he's got his pet peahen which he had in the pub with him. And it also turns out the one we saw earlier was also his peacock. And yeah, very interesting character. And then Dave here, his blue boat, that got stuck out in the middle of the canal. This is after we come out of the pub, so this is quite shenanigans going on here, trying to manoeuvre these boats around to get back down to Rawcliffe. And I think there's a bit of a lesson to be learnt here about drinking and then manoeuvring boats after you've had a few.
Where's Dave gone?
Dave's smelling Canal.
No!
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it just goes to show, really, you know, you shouldn't really be messing around with boats once you've had a few drinks. So yeah, I think we already knew that lesson, but we still did it anyway. A long straight stretch of the canal, the Aire and Calder Canal, and we're right beside the Dutch River here, which is a diverted part of the River Don, which was done by Cornelius Vermeulen, a Dutch engineer, and this was done to alleviate flooding. This massive great tanker, I know I showed it in the last vlog we did, but this is the XL Pride coming underneath Rawcliffe Bridge, just coming past Maggie May with the Croda chemical factory in the background. You can just see how big it is compared with our little narrowboat in the foreground there, and it really does move the boat around quite a lot. You need to make sure your lines are pretty tight when this one comes past. Rawcliffe Bridge, we moved on going westward, and we passed the Sugar Mill Pond Nature Reserves and this quite interesting log cabin, which is in the stage of being constructed. Looks like the sort of thing you'd see on Grand Designs. So this is Southfield Reservoir and the junction of the New Junction Canal. So these reservoirs, although they look vast, are actually only about 3 or 4 foot. Yeah, and just opposite is the junction. So we come up here in the previous vlog. This is where you get down towards the South Yorkshire navigation. So when you go down there, it's a long straight canal. You'd seen it in the last video. Yeah, this is very popular for sailing. I think it was a weekend day when we came through here. It's a Saturday, so it's quite a lot of activity on the reservoir. It's coming into Pollington Lock, so Kay's operating this lock. There's quite a wash coming across there from the bywash. It pulled the boat quite a way over. So we tend to take it in turns doing this. Sometimes Kay will bring the boat in, sometimes I'll do it. So yeah, we both like doing both aspects of it, which is good really, because otherwise one person ends up doing all the work in the locks. Boat Club. This is at Great Heck, and it's winter moorings here, and yeah, our friends were saying it's quite nice to stay here. There's electric hook up just on the cut itself, and there's good facilities in there. Yeah, this looks like Neil's boat there actually. It's like Titus. It's lucky to me. Left it there for the weekend. M62, and we sort of turned slightly left, and now we're heading into Eggborough, and we moored here for the night, and had a look around the village. It's a beautiful sunset that evening, very peaceful. Morning. And morning, lovely sunny morning. Just untying the boat, ready to set off. H. The H signifies that it is made by John Harkers of Knottingley. It's built in 1953 as an oil tanker, and then it was converted to carry, but now it's a houseboat. Beautiful looking barge, so much space on it, but unfortunately something of that size you can only use on these massive great waterways around South Yorkshire and around the coast. But yeah, be a labour of love owning a boat like this. Is probably a constant list of jobs that need to be done to it, but all the same, beautiful old barge. A lot of history there. some sort of just a banking they've got up, isn't it? Yeah. From dredging, is it?
Yeah, it could
On our right hand side, this is one of the super pits that was built in the 80s. Massive production of coal in this area, and until it was closed in 2015, and that made a significant difference to the amount of tonnage that was moved on these canals, and the commercial craft that we supply the trade on this the Aire and Calder was significantly reduced. Wouldn't mind having one of these bollards here. They're lovely old cast iron things, and so this is the old wharf, I'd imagine, from Kellingham Colliery. I imagine the coal was delivered from here. Yeah, you can see now it's pretty overgrown, it's not been used at all, and yeah, so these big old cast iron bollards are pretty much redundant, so you know, I'm sure they wouldn't miss one. You know, I only want one. I just bore here one night, put a bit of WD on the nuts, and in the morning I should better loosen it off and get it out, stick it on the boat, take it back, and I could use that maybe as an anvil or anything, garden ornament perhaps. So just coming into Harker's Wharf here, and just in front of us is the junction of the Aire and Calder. And this is Harker's Wharf over here. It's a lovely collection of boats over here. There's a few here I'd quite like to have, I must admit. Yeah, there's one on the very end there by the bridge. Looks like a lovely old working barge. And then, yeah, there's hard standings here where you can have your DIY projects on dry land. And it's all year round, you can work on it. And there's a few in the water here as well. Don't know what this one is. It looks quite like a navy thing. I don't know what it is, but it's quite stealth-like with that little cabin on the top there in the middle. And then this one on the end is one I really like. I just love the shape of that. That one there with the crane on the back with the grey cabin or bridge. Yeah, it's the sort of thing that one day when we've done all the network and we don't want to do the narrow canals, and we can sort of like still travel around or something like that, but something converted like that, all done up. Well, then I'd love to do it myself as well. Do one of these up and cruise around in it. You might be able to go around the coast or something like that, I imagine. And with the crane on the back, you yeah. And behind this Harker's Wharf here, there's this big factory. I'm not quite sure. I think it's called Allied Glass. I'm not quite sure. I think it's Alloy Glass, and they make glass bottles here. A bit noisy, you can probably hear the fans going now. I'm hoping it's going to stop when it gets dark, but I doubt it. But we're getting used to it. We've been here for a few hours. Oh, there's Kay's dad there. He's had a bit of a kip. He just managed to get back up, get in the sun for a few hours. Nice kip. Nice kip.
Did you have a nice kick?
Nice
I
kip.
did have a kip.
You did.
Did.
I was late.
Yeah.
I was late quiet.
Yeah, I suppose somebody's got to do it.